Hi, welcome, welcome. It's really good to see you. I feeling really good today, and I hope that you are feeling good too. Yeah, I hope you finding peace and love and all that good stuff. I wanted to talk today just a bit about struggling to accept good things. Why do we do that? And I can only speak from personal experience, but I know that at times I felt quite skeptical when good things have happened, or if too many good things happen in a row, I'll be wondering, right, when's the bad thing coming? And it's in a strange way, it's right because something bad is always on its way. There's always going to be tragedy. There's always going to be things that creep up on you that you don't realize. There's always more things you don't know than do know. So they're always trying to rectify. But how do we just try and accept that there are good things? And with this, when I hear people talk about this kind of subject, I hear people say about how you deserve to have good things, and I don't think that's right. Like maybe you do, maybe you personally do deserve it, but I'm not sure that I do deserve it. But do you know, this TV show I really love called Final Space, and there's this whole exchange between these two characters, and one of them's done this really awful thing, and he receives forgiveness, and he says, "No, don't forgive me. I don't deserve it." And his friend responds with, "Then show me you're worth it." And I fell in love with that because none of us, maybe some of us do, but I certainly don't feel that I deserve the good things that I have. I think a lot of people feel that way, feel like they don't deserve good things. But perhaps when we receive good things, the right attitude is to show that we're worth it, that it wasn't a mistake to give it to us. Hmm. That seems right to me. Yeah. But how do we deal with these feelings in the meantime, I suppose? I think a lot of people, I think everyone feels some kind of imposter syndrome when you receive a promotion or you maybe get married. I know I felt that to a certain degree when I got married. At least initially, that I just wasn't good enough. And the feeling sprung from something completely right, and the truth is I wasn't good enough. And I'm still not, but I know with time I can be. And my wife, extremely patient woman that she is helping me to be her husband. And I'm helping her to be my wife. And there's a lot of nuance to that, a lot of specificity to each individual situation. And I think that's true. Perhaps when you get a promotion, you feel like you don't deserve, you're not good enough for it. The probability is that's right, you're not good enough. But it's likely that you will be very soon. If you keep on the path, you keep trying to improve, you keep trying to do better, then perhaps you will be that person. You become more than that person. Then you'll be the next thing to feel guilty over, to have imposter syndrome about. I think another thing, I think that's probably true of me is just the way that you're raised. I mean, like not that my parents ever said this, but I was kind of raised with this belief that you should only ever have just enough money. And anything more than that was bad. And it's kind of the self-righteousness of the poor person. And that there's nothing inherently good about being poor, just like there's nothing inherently good about being wealthy. It's about the way that you operate. It's the way that you choose to be. You choose to do the right thing, even when it's not good for you. Because most of the time it's not going to be good for you. But you decide to do that. You decide not to lie. You decide not to deceive. You decide not to steal. You decide not to cheat. You decide not to whatever thing that you're doing that you know you shouldn't be doing. And when you do it, your conscience says, like, what are you playing at? We all have things like that we're trying to improve on. But I think it's important to let go of these beliefs, even if it's not. Maybe it's not even our parents' fault. Maybe that's what they believed. It's not to blame anyone, but your parents do impart beliefs without words. It's about conditioning, about the way you're raised, and the underlying message of what you receive. And it's important to let go of that. And I've never made a lot of money, and I want to change that. I want to change that. Not for some kind of like I want all this. I want loads of money, but I want to have freedom. I want to be generous. I want to be a support to those around me. And I think that's a good thing. You don't have to just if you do things correctly, then nobody gets poor by means when you get wealthy. If you do things right. Not that that's, I'm sure that's happened. I'm sure people have done bad things, become wealthy because of bad behaviour. But I think it's important to realise that having money is just a part of life, and it's neither good nor bad. You can be a good wealthy person, you can be a bad wealthy person, you can be a good poor person, you can be a bad poor person. But recognising that you need to provide some level of some quality of life to your family, and working hard to do that is actually a really good thing. And maybe I'm harping on this, maybe I'm spending too much time talking about this idea, but this is something I've only just realised in the last maybe last month or two, that actually having more money than is strictly necessary is neither a good nor a bad thing. And in fact, it probably leans on the good side, because if I was to have more money than necessary, then there's money there to be generous with. There's money there that I could use to help others, or maybe more selfishly, there's money there that I could use to help my future self, to save money, maybe create a good life for my children. And there's probably some amount of selfishness in that desire, but there's also some goodness there. So I think whatever it is for you, whatever it is for you where you feel like you don't deserve something good, whether it's just your emotions or the way that you were conditioned, or whether that's from your parents or from a relationship or from maybe not so good friendship, whatever it is, it can be overcome. doesn't have to be the defining feature of your life. Like I'll tell you something. So this morning, I completely wasted my morning. I spent probably like 4 hours scrolling on YouTube. And maybe that's where you are. And that's where you are. It's not, it's just, it is what it is. There is no, it's okay. It just is. And if that's where you are, that's where you are. But I almost didn't even decide, but I just acted. And I worked out. My wife bought me some dumbbells. And I got a bench. And it's, there's not a lot. I used to go to a really great gym, but I have this stuff at home, and it just makes it a bit easier. There's less of a barrier for me to work out. I don't have to travel anywhere. I just am there. And I've turned this day into a really good day. Although I wasted a great part of it, and maybe you're wasting your day. Maybe you wasted this morning, but you could have a good afternoon. Or you wasted the last year, but you could start today. You could change that. Just wherever you are, it's something you can improve on. And maybe it's not even, maybe a decision feels like too much, but maybe it's just you just do it. You just act. Whether that's by exercising, or if that's by making that art piece that you've been talking about, or writing that book you wanted to write for the past decade, or maybe it's learning that instrument that you've always wanted to learn but you just never have because you've convinced yourself you don't have time, or you don't have the ability, whatever it might be. Like, you probably won't be very good to begin with. I'm certainly not very good at this. And I know that the majority of what I say is going to be complete trash. But every once in a while, I might say something that is slightly mediocre, maybe slightly okay. And then after a while, maybe I'll say something that's slightly good. And maybe it resonates with maybe it resonates with no one. Maybe it resonates even with one person or no one. But it just brings me peace to be able to express myself and talk about what I want to talk about online and share it. And if it goes absolutely nowhere, that's okay, but it gives me a sense of purpose. A sense of purpose. I think I've just felt like there was not a lot of purpose in my life for a long time. I felt like the ones who haven't shown me love, who I needed love from, determined my meaning, my peace, my self-acceptance. And to say that you don't need other people to make you feel whole, it's just not true. You need others. You can't do this alone. And maybe you have been, and maybe it's not even been your choice. And if I'm finding you in that space, then I am deeply, deeply sorry that that is your experience. It genuinely breaks my heart. And I see all these memes online about like the Sigma male grind set and like the lone wolf and all this trash. You need friends. You need a romantic relationship. You need meaning and purpose, and the people around you something like Jordan Peterson says, and you probably hear me mention him a lot because I love a lot of what he says. But he says, don't think something like, don't downplay the hole that you would leave if you weren't there, and that each person has a light to bring into the world, and if you don't bring your light into this world, then the world's a darker place. And we all know this is true. We all feel this when someone dies, when we lose a loved one. The light is extinguished. We feel darker, the world feels darker, tastes aren't as vibrant, colours aren't as clear. All of that. And it's in those moments that people turn to poetry, and they turn to music, and they turn to art. Because they know it's important, even if they can't articulate it. Because poetry and music and art can just make you feel that colour again. Make you feel that light. And your music, your poetry, your art, whatever that is, whether that's starting a business or whatever it might be, it doesn't really matter. But you have a light to bring into this world, and you are valuable. And I kind of say this to kind of heal myself a bit, because I don't often feel this myself. So it's not that you should feel this all the time, because you won't. But like something I've started doing, and I do this with my wife. And my wife, she sometimes babysits this little girl, and if I've got a bit of time in the morning, I'll help my wife with this baby. And she can't speak yet, and but I'll tell her that she's made in God's image. She's valuable. She has inherent meaning and value. And I want to make sure my kids know this. And if I can tell anyone else and make someone else feel this way, I want you to know this. That you're valuable and you have meaning, and even if you don't even if you don't see it, even if you don't notice it, it's not that you don't have meaning, it's that you don't see it. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. Who cares if we don't deserve it? Maybe that's the wrong way to think. We just need to show that we're worth it. That we're worth the good things that happen to us. We're worth that promotion. We're worth that boyfriend, girlfriend. We're worth it. We're worth that move to another city. We're worth that move to another country. We're worth writing a book. We're worth publishing that art piece, whatever it might be. Yeah. What if we didn't judge ourselves as undeserving? And what if we just decided together to accept whatever this good thing is? Whatever this good thing is in our life, we just decided to accept it without questioning it. What would that feel like? What do you think? I don't know what that would feel like completely, without questioning it. Who knows? Maybe we can find out together. If you'd like to tell me what your opinion is on that question, what would it feel like to accept something good without questioning it? To let go of the badness, of the questioning, of the we don't deserve it, I don't deserve it. And the crazy thing about letting go is all you need to do to let go is let go. Yeah. Anyway, if you want to shoot me a comment, then great. If you don't, then that's fine. Whatever it is that you're doing, I hope you do it well, and you find peace, and you find joy, and you find love, and all of that, because I think you're worth it.